Right, so welcome everybody to today's webinar. My name's Jenna, I'm with Emerging Destinations, and we represent cool company and cool places. Today I'm being joined by Kamrul from the Guyana Tourism Authority, who's going to give you a bit of an introduction to the destination. I'm not sure if you've attended one of our Guyana webinars previously, but we were representing them in the past. So we're very thrilled to have them back as part of our portfolio. So we thought we would just start off by doing a general introduction to the destination this time around, just for anybody who might have missed it or just wants any updates on what Guyana currently has to offer. So before we get too far into that, though, I'm going to take a quick minute to introduce our portfolio to you. So up there is everything that Emerging Destination currently represents. So we have our African portfolio and our Americas portfolio, as well as our Europe portfolio. So if you have any questions about any of the clients that you see up there on your screen, just noticing I forgot to put my email address. So I'm Jenna at emergingdestinations.com. Hopefully most of you do have my email address by now, but if not, that's how you're able to get a hold of me. And I'm more than happy to help answer any questions that you might have on any of those other clients you see up there on your screen. So since we're talking about Guyana today, which is in South America, I'm just going to take just a quick second just to introduce our America's portfolio to you. And again, I'm here to help if you have questions about any of the other ones that you see up there on your screen. So we are also in South America representing Hidalgo Tours. They are DMC in Bolivia. And my lovely colleague Paula and I just got back from a trip to Bolivia, literally about not even 2 weeks ago. So everything's fresh in our minds about Hidalgo and Bolivia. So if you do have any questions about our experience down there, we're more than happy to help share that. Oh, I just got someone that said you missed the email. So my email is jenna@emergingdestinations.com. I will be the one sending your follow-up from this webinar as well. So you can just reply to that email and I can help you out. Moving on, in South America, we also have Enchanted Expeditions. They are DMC in mainland Ecuador, as well as the Galapagos. They have 3 ships that they own and operate, in addition to a lodge that they have on Santa Cruz Island. Moving along in the Americas, we also represent La Carolina Island House, and that's in Panama on the Bocas del Toro side, and Las Torres Patagonia, which is a property down in Cerro del Paine National Park. And of course, and our newest addition, which is the River House Lodge, which is in Argentina. So it's famous for its fly fishing, although there's quite a few other activities that you can do there if you're not a fisher person yourself. So anything that you see up there on your screen, though, please feel free to reach out to me. And as always, our webinars will be recorded. So if there is any reason that you miss any of the webinar today or do have to step out early, I will be posting it on our Emerging Destinations YouTube channel and our Emerging Destinations website. So all of our previously recorded webinars can be found on those 2 channels. I will be doing the webinar follow-up, as I mentioned, so you will get a link to the recording. Also, we will do a bit of a Q&A at the end of today's presentation. So if you do have any questions throughout Kamrul's webinar, please feel free to type those through using the webinar go to webinar control panel, and we'll try to answer as many of those as possible at the end of today's session, but if not, we will make sure to send you an email with the answers. So I think that's everything that I have for housekeeping items, etc., to go over today. So on that note, I am going to hand things back over to Kamrul, and I will be here at the end to answer any questions you have. So please feel free to keep note of those.
Thank you, Jenna. As you mentioned, I'm Kamrul and I'm the director here at the Guyana Tourism Authority, and I'd like to take you through this presentation on Destination Guyana. So, context is important, where we are located and who we are. So, as you can see from this map here, we are on the northeast shelf of South America, and we are the only country in South America whose official language is English, and that makes us very unique. We're bordered there by Venezuela to the west, Suriname to the east, and Brazil to the southwest of the country. And of course, to the north, we have the Atlantic Ocean. Guyana is relatively small in comparison to the South American region. We happen to be the third smallest after Uruguay and Suriname. But this country here is 83,000 square miles. Next. Right, and how do you get to Ghana? How do you get here? So over the years, we have increased our connectivity and accessibility to the destination. And I know you see a lot of lines going there. And the one furthest there is uh, from London. So last year we got a connection there via British Airways. But we have very strong connections in the North America market as well as in the Caribbean. So Guyana has a huge diaspora, and that is why you will see connections from Toronto in Canada, as well as New York City and Miami. And most recently, within the last week, we got a connection direct from Houston to Guyana via United Airlines. We also have connections through Latin America via Panama. We have a direct from Cuba as well, and also, you know, closer to home, Trinidad, Suriname, and Barbados. So here, few of the airlines, the major ones. You would note that United is flying here as well as uh, JetBlue and American Airlines, all providing reliable connectivity to Guyana. And we are working on improving access and looking at more routes in the North American market and beyond. So what is our offering? We are distinctly different from the Caribbean region. So we are, culturally Caribbean, but on mainland South America, as you've noted by now. But what makes us stand out as a destination are the core pillars of tourism. So nature and wildlife, as you can see that beautiful shot of the giant anteater there, Guyana is a haven for wildlife spotting, and we're known for the giants, and that is the largest anteater, which is the one you see there, the largest otter, and several other species. The largest cats in the Americas, the jaguar, the largest freshwater fish, the arapaima. So Guyana is really gifted, and 80% of the country, 80% and more of the country is forest covered, and that naturally lends to the tourism assets that we have in country here. Active exploration. So given the landscapes, Guyana is a destination that is known for its adventure. You can see horseback riding there, but we do have a lots of hiking trips as well. We have kayaking, mountain biking. The persons can immerse themselves into the real pristine off the beaten path destinations. Also conservation and safe tourism. So Guyana has several world-class models on how we balance tourism and conservation. The image that you're looking at right there is Yarakrama, which is located in the heart or the center of Guyana, and they balance sustainable forestry with tourism, and they do it really well. And we have several other community tourism outfits that lead similar bodies of work, whether it's in conservation of major fish species, bird and species, or other wildlife, because we feel that conservation blends really well with tourism, and that's the only way we can make both facets sustainable. Culture and heritage, Guyana is a melting pot of culture. We do have a colonial past, so there are 6 different ethnicities who live in harmony and unity in Guyana. And this image here, the fort, Fort Zeelandia and Fort Island, speaks about the Dutch colonial history. But because of that um, past that we have, it really brings to life a lot of different ethnicities, and in the form of food and music and events, it creates a rich heritage of norms and practices, and really um, distinguishes Guyana from other destinations. And Guyana is still a very hot neotropical birding destination with over 820 species of birds, some endemic to the Guyana Shield, and some very star species that persons look for, including the harpy eagle, which is a highly sought after bird. We also have the cock of the rock, the red siskin, which is endangered, the sun parakeet, among so many other species. And it's important to note that much of these enterprises and products that we have are managed by the indigenous nations. We have 9 indigenous nations in country, and they are the best stewards of tourism. And we have really focused on empowering and creating viable enterprises, tourism enterprises within those communities. And this is a nice topographical and uh, gives you a good aerial perspective of Guyana here. With Georgetown being the capital city, it is the point of entry for all travelers, whether it's at the Chedijagan International Airport or Ogle. We have 2 major ports out in the capital city, but much of the tourism happens outside of the capital city. So Georgetown is more the business capital, but everything south, as you can see, that is highlighted with the red dots there. These are the main corridors. So the Rupununi corridor, as you can see from your Krama River Lodge, extends all the way down to Dadanawa there, and we're working on building out the south area. This is the heart and core of our ecotourism and sustainable product. This is the award-winning product that we wish to promote to our overseas markets. So this is where it's rich in the nature and the cultural immersion of the indigenous peoples as we speak, the rich bird in life, the wonderful wildlife spotting that you can do at various lodges. And each lodge has something special. At your Krama, you of course could engage in birding and river trips. At Atta Lodge, there's the canopy walkway that is, has a walkway that is about 30 meters suspended there that gives you great vantage points for birding. Sarama, home to the Mukushi people, and they have excellent, uh, you know, demonstrations of their culture, from cassava making to the dance demonstrations. It's such a wonderful mix and something that you really need to come to experience. And even more to the east in Rewa, as you can see there, closer to the Suriname border there, it's an outfit that is very popular for its sports fishing potential, and it is home to the Arapaima, which is the largest freshwater fish in the world, and it can grow as long as um, 30 feet and can weigh as much as 400 pounds. So an absolute monster. And at Karanambu and you know Cayman House, of course, you can see the great cayman there, the black cayman, and at Karanambu you can see the giant otter, once home to Diane McTurk, who was um, you know an individual who basically rehabilitated giant otters in the wilderness, and that has a rich heritage and great as well as great for birding. Letem is the central town there, as you can see. It's the border town between Brazil and Guyana, and it's a central transit point there. And down south, we are working on developing more product, more on the ranch type of product. And those experiences are going to come on within the next year or so. And we should not forget to mention the Essequibo region, which you would know the Baganara being one of the major highlights there in the upper North Essequibo region. Wonderful. And just to, show you some images of the bustling city here, you can see the St. George's Cathedral on the upper left corner there, which is, reputedly one of the world's tallest wooden structures. And it's really an iconic landmark in the capital city, and you can, you're seeing a great view of the changing landscape of Guyana and of Georgetown there. On the right of the screen here, you'll see Stabroek Market, built by the Dutch, and another iconic location. And this is home to a market, and home to the bus parks. You could also see the tree-lined avenues in central Georgetown there, and it has a lot of colonial buildings and home to the residence of the president and other prestigious buildings. We can see at the bottom right some birding activity in the botanical gardens. We have the botanical gardens in central Georgetown, and that is home to over 200 species of birds, right in the capital city, which is remarkable. And we can see some more development in the seawall district. So that is the Atlantic Ocean. They're washing onto the shores of Guyana, and there's been major developments in this region, more placemaking and improving recreational spaces. Guyana has over 200 fruits and vegetables. So the bottom left there, you can see one of our talented chefs, Chef Delvin Adams, conducting a market tour in central Georgetown. And on these tours, you're able to interact with the vendors, and of course to do sampling with all the wonderful tropical fruits that Guyana has. So that's just some teaser of Georgetown. And of course, we must speak about Kaieteur Falls. It is the bucket list tour that you must visit when coming to Guyana. It is the crown jewel, and of course, it is the highest single drop waterfall in the world. It's as you can see there, jaw dropping, and it has a height of almost 5 times higher than that of Niagara, 255 meters. And as you can see in the backdrop there, it's just pristine, undisturbed rainforest, and that really highlights the essence of the destination. Untouched, pristine, and you're immersed into this destination. This image here in the next slide, of course, speaks about the people of Guyana, and I spoke about the how multi-ethnic this society is. We have imagery here of the Afro-Guyanese celebrating Mashramani, which is a festival in February, celebrating um, after hard work. We have the indigenous people there represented, and we have 9 nations. We have the Indo-Guyanese celebrating the festival of Diwali, and of course we have persons from the Portuguese um, society as well. Guyana is relatively has a relatively small population, under 1 million persons, um, and the density of the population lies along the coast. But geographically, as I previously mentioned, we are right on the cusp of the northeast shelf of South America. So we really connected culturally to the Caribbean. And here is some great images of the various indigenous nations, multiple being represented here. And we have over the years packaged a lot of their traditions and try to upkeep that in the most authentic way possible. The bottom left, you can see the cassava bread making, which is one of the demonstrations that are done. You can also see image of the cowboys or the vaqueros, um, um, and you can have that experience down in the Rupununi, especially for rodeo, and which is a mega festival during the Easter celebrations. And we could see some other demonstrations occurring here. Wildlife, like I said, unparalleled wildlife, and these are not in captivity, of course. They're all in the wild, and as you can see from the images there, they speak for themselves. Uh, Very unique. The giant anteater, it has its young one on its back, traversing one of the trails there, where you can see the elusive jaguar. We have the capybara to the left, largest rodent in the world. We have the giant otter. Looks like he's feeding on a fish there. Wonderful. You can see these on the multiple river trips that are offered by the eco lodges in the Rupununi. The cock of the rock, um, very appealing looking bird with its rich orange hue there. And you can see this at Kaieteur and other parts of the country. So yes, wonderful wildlife, birds, and of course the people of Guyana. With that said, of course, Guyana is undergoing a lot of change with the recent discovery of oil. Um, and what that is doing is it is building out the business side of tourism on the coast, or mostly concentrated on the capital city. So the landscape is changing, the skyline is changing, and currently we have 8 new hotels being constructed, which will add about 2,000 rooms. Most of them are American brands, as you can see, Hilton, Hyatt, the Marriott brands. There are a few indigenous brands as well, so they're coming on board, and that will, of course, augment our ability to host major conferences and events, and having access to other facilities and amenities that travelers look for. But Georgetown, of course, is the business capital, is the commercial capital of Guyana, and this is going to be your initial point of entry before exploring the other parts of our wonderful destination. New products. We here in Guyana, we have prioritized a number of new experiences. We want to diversify the products that we offer. We also have the aim to create more resilient tours and resilient products. So we've launched over 50 products within the last 4 years, and this is coming out of the pandemic. Needed to create more to attract travelers to come to Ghana, and as you can see, there's a list of them, nature-based, lots of gastronomy tours being created and crafted. We have lots of adventure and kayaking and paddleboarding. So there's something for everyone. So Ghana is not, a single exclusive destination, but it offers something for every type of traveler there is. So whether you want to come and experience great food because of the rich cultural heritage, or you want to just have an adventure, or you want to enjoy nature, we have something for everyone here. And of course, Guyana balances really well, transformation and contemporary, as opposed to heritage, and maintaining our history. Guyana also has right in Georgetown here, you can see there's several heritage hotels here that offer exceptional service, and you will have the authentic Guyanese hospitality. Most people say we are very, very hospitable, and I would like to agree with that. Naturally um, smiling, and greeting everyone with warmth. And this is sort of service that you would expect when coming to Ghana. And these images represent the Essequibo circuit, which is on the uh, western side, more on the western side of Guyana, and we have a lot of nature resorts here that you can see Slot Island on your, this is on the right hand side on, and you can see that from the name alone, sloth, you can see lots of sloths there, as well as monkeys and other wildlife. You know, get to explore the heritage sites in Fort Zeelandia, and just unwinding in nature and capitalizing on that. Here are some additional images of Cayman House, and they of course have a conservation project on the yellow-footed tortoise, and of course they do research on the giant black caiman. These are just some imagery and what you can expect. Rewa Eco Lodge there on the next slide has there's a very nice aerial shot there. Um, Again, home to the #1 sports fishing outfit in Guyana. And you know, once you want to see the arapaima, world's largest freshwater fish, or any catfish, you know, species, um, you know, here's the destination to enjoy that. Surama, with its heritage, you can see, you know, most of these villages have a wonderful backdrop of mountains. Most of them are located within the valleys, so very, very picturesque. And you know, the sustainable ethos really is driven home within these enterprises here. Waikin Ranch, this is one of the newer properties. You can see this natural lake that has been formed right out in the savannas, building out facilities, very important. And we have a number of new other players on board that has really come on to complement the existing product. And here are just some other images that you would expect. Horseback riding, as I said, adventure. Um, you know, you can come and explore the vast landscapes. This is down in the South Rupununi district, where they have a ranch there, and you can have that ranch experience with horseback riding and hiking and enjoying some very fine cuisine. Irokrama, I talked about the canopy walkway. As you can see, it's nestled right in the heart of the rainforest and gives you some phenomenal views of the rainforest and opportunities to do birding. Yeah. And of course, you know, I'm only limited for 20, 30 minutes here, but if you wish to get more information, please look at these links, especially the first one there, GuyanaTourism.com. It's the official website for tourism for Guyana, and it's run by the Guyana Tourism Authority, and you can find a whole host of information there. But also check out our partners down at TAG and some additional information at the other agencies, including Go Invest and the Bureau of Statistics. And of course, this is the team behind it, the team that pulls it together. And you know, we are ready to provide additional information. And you know, should you want to set up breakout interviews, you know, we support familiarization trips for trade and media. And you know, we would be able to coordinate all of these things with our partners, as we wish to build out Guyana's tourism sector and take it to new heights. So that's it for me, and I now open the floor for any questions that you may have. Thank you very much.
Okay, so there you have it, a quick introduction to everyone on Guyana. So let's see here. If anybody has any questions, you can type those through now. I'm not sure how many we'll get to just because we already are, oops. at 11:30 here, so please feel free to type those through. As Kamrul did mention as well, please email me, jenna@emergingdestinations.com. If you have any questions or are interested in a FAM opportunity to go to Guyana, so please feel free to email me about that. But please feel free to type through any questions you have. I see, oh, there's a couple coming through now. So let's see here. Okay, so there's a question here, Joseph. I'm gonna get Kamrul to answer that one, just I feel like it'd be more useful. Then I will be with that kind of question. Okay, tour seniors orientated. It is still a very active destination, and just due to the infrastructure of the lodges, etc., within the mainland of Guyana, which is where most of the touring does take place, it'd have to be for a very active senior. Oh, people are asking what my email is again, so that is my apologies. I will send that through to everyone right now. There you go. So I just sent my email through to everybody. So if you do have any questions that we don't get to, if you're interested in a FAM opportunity, or if you just have any questions about our emerging destinations portfolio, please feel free to reach out to me there. We are going to, yeah, we have quite a few questions coming through. So I will make sure to get Kamrul. Unfortunately, he had to take off early today, so I don't have him here live to do the Q&A. So I will make sure that he does answer all of these questions that are coming through for everybody, and I'll make sure that we get them emailed to you before the end of the week. So thank you for your understanding on that, and thank you so much for joining. And we will be hosting another webinar in at the end of June on fishing in Guyana. So if you do have anybody interested in fishing, please feel free to sign up for that one as well. I will make sure to include the registration link in my webinar follow-up too. So thank you so much for joining us today, and I will make sure to get all these questions answered ASAP. Have a wonderful Tuesday.